What kind of running up?
Nah, he's pretty chill. He's not a hot.
Step it off, break it down and lose it. Come on, follow us to the new revolution. Come on, step it off, break it down and lose it. Come on, follow us to the new revolution. That this battle I am never losing.
Hi, it's Chris Pullen, and you're listening to Still Toking with.
If they think they'll ever hear my conclusion, I'm through with all these part-timers and their excuses. I'm bruising eagles left and right every time I do this. I'm shooting for the top, no, I'll never settle where you did. The future's in my hands, my grip will never lose it.
Yo, we're live. Day 2.
Sunday morning.
Day 2.
Sunday morning.
Day 2. From
Monroeville,
Pennsylvania. But we got to reverse this now. So Pittsburgh Mega Reptile Show and Steelcity Cannabis Convention. And we have our first guest of the day, Mr. Josh Wayman.
Hello.
From Maria's Exotics, which is a
501c3 reptile rescue and exotics.
Thank you.
Yep.
I was going to fuck it up for him. Sorry, my bad.
and we have this cool little guy.
Yeah.
Guy.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, this is Toking. They literally just named this Cayman after us. Like, and I'm not even shitting you. So we've had a lot of firsts this weekend. But yeah, he's cool as shit. I mean, before
How old?
yeah.
How old is it?
So I'm not primarily like sure about the age. If I were to hazard a guess, probably about like 1 or 2, but
Okay.
it could be younger. Because it's from our friend Jesse James, who runs Outlaw Reptiles,
Yep.
and he is based out of North Carolina, and he also helps with the zoo down there as well. So he's very versed in a lot of different animals and whatnot. But this is one of his critters that are here for purchasing today. So he's an actual like vendor, but he does do work.
Right.
With
He's also
other
one of the
places and whatnot.
reptile show sponsors.
Yes, he's actually the sponsor of this show.
Okay.
He's sponsored the show, I believe, a couple of different times, but he sponsored this one on our side of the fence for the reptiles.
Yes, like he said, on their side of the fence. So, like I said, this is a mega reptile show, which is right next door to us in the Steel City Cannabis Convention. If you watched when we were doing this in May, we brought some of the reptiles over here to the cannabis side to do interviews so that our viewers, listeners later on would understand the style of show this is.
Oh, he can't talk much because he's got his mouth taped.
Well, that's just so he doesn't bite Josh, because Josh is a sweetie.
They actually do make a little bit of noise when they're younger. Alligators, crocodiles, caimans, and stuff. They have like this little laser noise. So when they are younger, they do have like a laser, like pew 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 sort of thing, and so that they can attract their mother to come and find them. When they get older, they start growling. Males typically have like a lower growl, and that's how they intimidate or attract mates.
Okay.
So they're able to do that, and then they sort of, that's their ecosystem basically. Little ones like laser noise to attract their parents, and then as they get older, they do the growls and whatnot. So.
Now this is dwarf.
Yes, so dwarf caimans on average get anywhere between 4 to 4.5 feet, depending on their gender. So females are actually smaller than males. Males get a lot bigger. Now that being said, though, when I say bigger, you may think like, oh, they're going to get like 40, 50 pounds. They actually, dwarf caimans are only on average 11 to 15 pounds. So even when they're adults.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
But still, a 4-foot fucking dinosaur running around your house is pretty badass.
Oh yeah. Like
Better than a 14-foot python.
Yeah.
Right.
You can kind of compare it like to my arm.
Right.
So I mean, he's got some beef to him. So he's older. But yeah, like when you get them younger, they just look like little tiny, like he said, like dinosaurs. So
Right. He's a cute little fucker. But to get back to Maria's Exotics, so you guys run a rescue.
yes, so we're out of Washington County in Washington, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
So we're roughly around 40 to 45 minutes from Monroeville. but we have done rescues pretty much all around the U.S.
Okay.
On the East Coast anyway, because we've gone as far as Florida for a sulcata tortoise. We've gone up north to New York. We've been out on the East Coast. We've done like Maryland stuff before and whatnot. So if we can, we're willing to help wherever we can.
Right.
So we try to do educational programs as well. So like we do schools, we do birthday parties as well. So basically, like we on our Facebook page, if you find us, you can like look up and see we have a party package, we have an event package, we have a bunch of different stuff. So we're able to do that sort of stuff to educate kids and even adults too, because we've done shows all the way from a little kid's birthday party to educational events at schools. We've done Boy Scouts of America. We've even done like senior centers and stuff. So we've done all age groups, all different sizes of like kids and whatnot. So we've had 3 kids at a party, and we've done 250 kids at the Boy Scouts of America. We do large shows, we do small shows. It doesn't matter. We try and do what we can every time we can. So if one of us is available, we always like going out. We always like hanging out, and our animals love it. Like we have very friendly animals at the rescue.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, you're sitting here holding a fucking alligator. Well, a caiman.
Yeah.
But
we typically like to do what we can again with the environment as well, because we're part of Critical Animal Response Team in Washington, CART for short. And basically they're like the EMTs of the animal world. They go and they like retrieve animals from places and stuff. So like, let's say animal control calls them, they go and get said animal and whatnot. So we've been to hoarding situations, we've been to neglect cases and stuff like that. But they call us when they need a reptile taken or something like that. So we're a part of them. We're also a part of the Florida Wildlife Amnesty Program. So we've gotten animals from Florida sent to us. Like we have tegus that come to us, and we try to do what we can with them. Our famous one, if you follow us on Facebook, is Lord Lasagna. Lord Lasagna was a tegu similar to the one that was here in May, Prince Parmesan, but he's a big red tegu, and he came to us in a really rough condition. He had burns all over his body from the Florida heat. He was obese, but Jenna, the girl that runs the rescue, was able to assist with that. We had a very good diet for him. We got him on like a sort of like a mini rehab regimen essentially, and he lost weight. His burns, you can barely tell they're there. He's with a friend of ours now, front and center in his pet store. He's a huge hit up there.
That's awesome.
So yeah, we do everything we can for animals. Surrender cases, neglect cases. If you just can't keep an animal,
You take children?
Unfortunately, not. We get that question a lot. But yeah,
not even as food.
Not even as food.
Now do you rehome them?
So yeah, how our process works is let's say this was yours and you surrendered them to us. We put them in a quarantine enclosure and we monitored them for an extended period of time depending on the condition they came to us in. And then after their quarantine period is over, then we put them in a regular enclosure until they're ready to be adopted. And we a lot of times post on our Facebook page, we have X animals for adoption. Here's the list. And then we try to either meet you at a show or we can meet you there. We never ship an animal for an adoption. We always try to meet somebody either halfway, or we try and meet them at a show if that's possible.
For all you viewers and listeners, that's Maria's Exotic Reptile Rescue. It's up on the screen right now. For the listeners, it's mariaexoticsrr@gmail.com if you need to get a hold of them for a rescue or assistance or even a party package. I just wanted to throw that up there so people saw that. I mean, that's amazing. Just out of curiosity, what's the weirdest case that you guys have had? I mean, like the weirdest critter that you've had to either had surrendered to you or rescue or...
Yeah, I mean, we've gotten quite the colorful cast of surrenders, but our first unofficial surrender, I guess you could call it a surrender, was we went out for a day. This is when we first got reptiles into reptiles at the house. They literally, we went shopping and then we come back and we opened up the gate to the porch and there was a Savannah monitor in a box. No notes, no nothing, just his stuff in a box and him in a box. That's it. So he was our first unofficial rescue. And then when we got our license to be a 501c3 reptile rescue, our first official rescue was a very rough bearded dragon. And that had a lot of sentimental value to Jenna because she literally gave her heart and soul to this guy. His name was Samson, is what she named him. And she loved that guy. until he passed, unfortunately.
Mm.
But that was her worst case that she's ever gotten. We've also received a Savannah monitor that suffered from BB guns shot in his head.
Oh,
He unfortunately passed because of that. We got him medical attention as best we could,
right.
but unfortunately there was one still stuck in there. He dug it out, he bled out, so it was rough to witness that and whatnot.
Right,
But
right.
it
Now, have you been with Maria since the start, or
yeah,
you have?
so the main cast members, I keep saying cast members because
Well, it is.
you know, yeah. The main cast members, Jenna owns the rescue.
Okay.
So she's in charge of everything, and then I am one of the volunteers. I was there since the start. I've been friends with Jenna for many a year, even before the rescue started. And then we have Bill, who is a key part of the rescue as well. He's more the tech guru. He does all the technical stuff, and
Okay.
whatnot. And then we have a million to one fosters that we try to get involved as best we can. Like we have a bird foster, we have like leopard gecko foster, you know, we just have like these people who volunteer to come and help us. You know, I would like to foster your animals if I can. I like to help you guys out. We have volunteers too to come to shows and whatnot. So like, but
Your main cast is that group cast.
yeah. And it's good that we're expanding out as far as like fosters and volunteers goes. But we're always looking for any kind of assistance if we can get it. So like if we're at a show and you see us and you want to hang out with us, you know, we'll try to help, or we'll try to accommodate for you to help us out, whatnot. So it's very fun hanging out with people. Like with you guys coming over here and hanging out with you guys, this is fun. I'm having a blast.
Oh well, no,
Like-
we're having a blast too. We had a caiman named after us. I mean,
Now, how long do they live?
So it depends on their condition. So like obviously a wild one, it's survival of the fittest out there. But in captivity, you're gonna have it if it's very well kept. You're gonna have them for double digits easy. Like they're gonna get into the 15s and 20s. Now again, that depends on their condition of living too. So
right.
if you're poor living conditions, you can stunt their growth. If you have them in a small pond, you don't want to upgrade. If you don't feed them as much. And then also too, if you don't handle them, then they become aggressive, and then now you don't want to handle them because they're aggressive. Yeah. So like with him, he's very chill because he's been worked with by Jesse. So he takes care of all of his animals while he has them, and then when they're sold off from Jesse's Outlaw reptiles, they are good to go with that person that purchased it. And then with our adoptions from Maria Exotics, we're the same way. We always ask, what's the temperament of it, and then we work with it to make sure that they weren't lying, because it does happen on occasion. We hope it doesn't, but it does happen on occasion. They just want to dump the animal on us and say, here, it's very friendly, and then we take it out and it ends up being an absolute psycho. But
like children.
Yeah, but we do work with the animals. So like if we
Right.
do have an aggressive animal, we work with it. We've tamed down iguanas before. We've worked with snakes before, and they become
Nice.
friendly. So we do everything we can with any animal that we can. And if it is a very aggressive animal and it has to be worked with, we do know some people that can be, they specialize in training said animals.
Right.
So we adopt them out to them, and they work with them, and then they're able to put them back into the pet world, essentially, so that they can be loved by somebody else.
Nice.
So, yeah, we have a I say this in a nice way. We have a network of people that can help us.
Well,
So
you kind of
and,
have to have a team or a network.
yeah, and
to
with
succeed
being
things.
with being in the reptile going on 10 years now, it is one of those things that we've gotten to know a lot of people. Like I said, we just met you guys at the last cannabis convention and hung out with you, so now you're our friends now.
Right.
And it's like, even though you guys do cannabis, you guys are really fun, and we like helping you,
Well,
and you help us, and it's
We
like
do cannabis events.
Yeah.
I mean, our basic premise is based on cannabis, but the novel, the writings, the TV series, and things like that. But yes, I like the way he did that. Well, you guys do cannabis, but you're fun to hang out with. He thinks we're fun to hang out with because he knows that we do cannabis events, and they do bake sales at a lot of these events. So they're baking cupcakes and zucchini breads and all kinds of amazing pastries to help
raise funds.
support
Yep.
the animal rescue. So every Sunday they walk around and say, discounted price, we can get it. And I'm like, yeah, let's bring it over, man.
I'm not profiling. I'm not profiling.
No. But again, we want to thank Josh for coming over, because we don't want to keep the animals out too long, especially with the people starting to come in, and we want them to be able to make money and help support the animals. But if you're interested in helping support Maria's Exotics, all the information is on the website. It's all in the show notes. They're on Facebook. Look them up. Hey, $1's a dollar. Just saying, you know.
And they're
Or,
worth it.
or unfortunately, if you have to go to the flip side and you have an animal that you can't take care of, that you need assistance with, reach out to them, because even if they can't help you in your area, I'm sure they know somebody that can.
Yeah, we've done that quite a bit. We've helped a lot of people out of state because since we're in Washington County, people look us up online and they see Washington. We've had people call from the West Coast before, and and that's a common accident. But we end up finding reptile rescues near them, so we call them and say, hey, somebody's looking to surrender this. Can you help them? And then they call. Right. So we like you said, we will find somebody or something that can assist you.
Well, Token, what do you think? Did you have a good time? I had a good time. I'm really happy I met you.
His head's actually harder than yours, Ben.
Well, that's I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I got the hardest head here. So
It's very cool.
Stay tuned, folks. We're going to be coming at you live at least 2 or 3 more times today. I don't know who the guests are. You'll have to wait and see.
Surprise.
It is a surprise. This was a surprise, right? You know, he came over to us earlier. He said, I'm going to bring the Cayman on. I said, oh, that's great. What's his name? I don't know. And he came back about a half hour later. He goes, we named it Token. I was like,
heck yeah.
Yeah.
So we're going to find Token home by the end of the day, hopefully. So
right. Hey, if you're interested in taking Token off of Jesse's hands, I had it up there a couple times, but I'm going to put it up there one more time there. There's Jesse James's information. It's KART11SS@AOL.com for those listening. You know, you could own a Token. See? And with that, we're going to let Josh get back to his thing, and we will be back shortly. Step it off, break it down.